Hello and welcome to Mondo Market TV. Today's show is Crafting with Shaylin. I'm your host Chase Gregerson, and with me is Shaylin. So Shaylin, what are we going to be doing today?
Oh my gosh, we are going to make the funnest little Halloween house. So it's just like a little scene that you would put on a table or somewhere. If you want to pan over to it, it's just so cute and it's really easy to do. Fun, I mean, easy stuff. So we're going to just dive right into it. How's that sound?
I'm super excited. This looks like a lot of fun. I have a little set over here. So this is a 5-piece set. It comes with a ton of fun little characters. We have ghosts, pumpkins, the haunted house, and the gate. This looks like fun. So why don't you take it away and tell us what we're going to do.
Okay. So first what we're going to do is we are going to paint it black. So there's a lot of things in here, and we are literally going to paint this whole thing while we're here today. So I just want to show you. Whoops, we're going to do, I have a metallic, it's like a, looks like a metallic black. It's a satin finish, and it's, this one is from Deco Art. This is the one I recommend most because it just has a really, really good finish to it. So it actually makes your craft have a little bit of a sheen to it, and that's what you want because this is a creepy crawly old woman house, I guess you could say.
Okay.
So we're gonna,
something you'd find at the bad end of the street.
The bad end of this. That sounds. That's good.
I've never had a bad end of my street, but
I've had a few, but you know, it was a bad end of a farm, but it's all good. So I'm gonna base the bottom first. So when you get this kit, this is what I recommend you do first. You're just gonna base it, and you. The reason why you're gonna do this is because you're gonna take all the rest of your pieces, and when they dry, you're going to put them into your base. So this would be the first thing when your kit comes. Just pull out the black and start painting. And I recommend doing the bottom. I probably won't do that today, but you know me, I like to finish things. I like things to be done.
Now, if you paint the bottom, would that create a seal for the wood to protect it? Okay.
Yes, especially if it has a satin finish to it. It does have a little bit of a sealant in it, and I really like the higher end acrylic paint. So it is an acrylic paint, but some of those, they'll seal your wood. And I have crafts that I've had for, I don't want to say it too loud, like 25 years, and I haven't had them yellow yet. So there is a lot of truth into purchasing a good acrylic paint, and it will definitely soak and seal into the wood. But it also, when you're done with this, you can seal it with like a clear primer or a sealant, and that will work too. But some of those will go yellow after a while, so be really careful. So look how fast. These are crafts you could do, Chase.
I mean, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But it's just like it's a fun little craft to do, but it's really cute. So if you're getting ready for Halloween, I don't know how many of you are getting ready for Halloween right now. I am, because I'm always in the mood to make Halloween stuff, and I was born in October, so.
So was I.
I have the scary. We have the scary Halloween feel.
There we go. Halloween was my favorite holiday growing up, and I didn't know if that was because my birthday was in October, but I think it was probably because of the candy, though.
Well, yes, the candy is important. That is one of the reasons why you go to the better neighborhoods to get the big candy bars. But yeah, I liked the candy, but I've always liked Halloween. I think it's, well, probably because I am born in October. And I think we're born our birthdays are just a few days apart. So we have the good month.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's right.
I know. Who wouldn't want to be born in October? The people who are born any time of the year. So, okay. So we are going to get this totally painted. You're going to love this when it's done because in the instructions, I tell you how I've done it, but I want you to do it how you want to do it. Just take the basic principles of what I tell you to do so that you're, kind of keeping it a little consistent with the haunted house. Or, take it on your own and do something totally different.
So you're painting a lot of this black.
Yes.
Now, what other colors do you think would work well?
Gray or purple. Okay. So if you had a metallic purple, like that one.
Okay.
That would be really pretty because, purple is kind of creepy. If you put a little black and gray on it, it's kind of creepy. So
gotcha.
Yeah, you can do any of
That
those.
that'd be a lot of fun. Give it, you know, you buy a couple of these, you do them different colors.
Yep. Put them in different parts of your house. The really cool part about this one is once it's dry, I put glow-in-the-dark paint.
Oh.
So when you walk into your kitchen or wherever it's at, if it's on the kitchen table, and you have glow-in-the-dark paint, you can freak yourself out sometimes by thinking something's on the table.
And is the glow-in-the-dark paint clear enough that you can just put it on top of the black and stuff? Okay.
Yeah, and it just has that, if you want to show that, that's what the glow-in-the-dark paint looks like. Very easy to use. Now I'm not going to paint the pumpkin on the top, so don't paint your pumpkin black because you'll end up having a really hard time trying to cover that up. And you can just take just any type of flat brush, doesn't matter if it's thick or thin, and just paint away. And there you go, check that out. And it's so cute because then you start adding detail to it. The back of it, you could paint the back of the pumpkin. I just did the whole complete pumpkin on both sides just in case I wanted to reverse my fence.
Yeah, because
you can
this
it.
all fits into the base.
Yes.
So you can put these really however you want. As you can see here, there's 3 different grooves here to put the pieces. And so you can really paint them any way you want. Now there is kind of a default of how it will go, but really this is something that you can create for yourself and you can make unique.
Well, and you could put even the house in the front and then do your gates in the back and have the tree on the side. So you can fiddle with it. You can make it your own.
I was looking at this before and I was trying different
poses,
but they weren't really working that well. I think I'll just stick to the.
That's all good.
Yeah, okay.
but it's easy storage too. Now there's a thing because some of us will, like me, I've got things that it takes a whole complete box to put the craft in, and then you're kind of like, oh wow, that's kind of a waste of a box. But you know your craft is so big, so this breaks down really easy. Fold it up, put it away, and then you'll have it for next year. And if you wrap it in some material or an old bath towel, you know, like a little hand towel, it will be just fine.
I think that's super important because it looks like these are laser
They're laser cut.
And so there's really intricate details in here that if it were to be permanent, might cause it to break easier because of all the intricate stuff. But being able to put it down flat, you can store it away very safe and you have that peace of mind that it'll be there for next year.
Yep. And label your box.
That's right.
Some people don't label their boxes like me, and then I tried to hunt for it. So put a little Halloween sticker on your box that says what it is. And
so you might be asking, this is all great, but where can I get my own Halloween set? Well, you can get yours at mondomarkettv.com. You can see here we have our sample right here. It's black and it's got this wonderful green trim around the house. The pumpkins are painted. And like we said, you can move these around wherever you want. It's really a lot of fun.
it's easy.
And you can get yours at mondomarkettv.com. Right now we have a special price for our promo. So you can get there and get it for a little bit cheaper right now while we are live.
Yep. And you'll love these because these will be fun. If you get a couple of them, you can get them for, you know, like your kids. If you've got older kids like me who want to come and paint. I mean, easy stuff. And then you don't have to paint them a craft. They'll paint their own craft. And it works out great.
I mean, it'd be really fun to get a couple for your grandkids or for even your friends, and you guys can get together and
do
craft.
it. Yeah. Now, you just said the word grandkids, and you know that's a special place in my heart. So if you have a little grandchild and they paint one of these for you, and then you put it out every single year, okay, I'm a sucker for that. I would be like, anything you want, Corbin, you can have. So it would just be cute. So it'd be a lot of fun.
So if you gave this to a grandchild and you gave them like something like a magic marker or something like that, they could totally do that with this. So they don't have to deal with paint.
Nope.
You can just give them some.
Well, they also have the little kids paints. So you can get the non-toxic little kid paint that comes in like a packet of 6. And some places will have a Halloween pack where they'll do like different colors for Halloween. I mean, it's like a couple bucks.
That's a pretty good
That
idea.
would be easy. But then you would have that little craft forever. And then when your grandchild starts dating and they bring their dates over to your house and you're like, look what he did when he was 2 or 4.
That's very important. You always need a little bit of blackmail on all of your relatives.
I agree.
And it's what makes the
makes it fun.
Yeah, the holidays go a lot better. You know,
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's really fun, and I really enjoy. My little grandson paints with me quite often, and in fact, I've kind of started a thing where he'll come in and start talking to me, and then he'll say, Nana, can I paint? And sometimes I just don't have the ability to paint at the moment, and so I feel really bad, but it is a really good thing to teach your youngsters. Teach them while they're young. Let them learn how to paint and do fun stuff. And so see, I'm just painting the black tree. I mean, that's all it is because it's a shadow. You could either do this or maybe a darker brown, like a really dark brown. But I mean, this is kind of a no-brainer. It's really fun because you can just get in, get your little sides. I try and get all the little inside intricate pieces because they are brown and they will show. But if you don't mind the brown, you don't have to. You can just go right over top. So that's pretty good for now. And then I'm going to do the back. So we'll just, and there's a little owl on here. So right here, I missed the little owl. And then there is a ghost and some grass. So try not to put black on it because they are a lighter color, so it's a little harder to cover up. But this is cool. And it's kind of freaky cool.
Now, how easy do you think it would be to add some of your own pieces to this design?
Oh my gosh, really easy.
So just cut something to the width of what's in the board, and then you can just add whatever. I was also thinking that this house is probably the perfect size where you could put like a picture that would rest against here, or
that is a really good idea. Okay, that's a really good idea. If you had a picture in the very back here that you could put of maybe like an old graveyard scene, and then you had a big square, you put it in the back, then you put that in front of it, and then the fences and everything. That's a great idea, Chase.
You could even put, draw a little dude and then put him in the doorway there. Oh,
you know what else you could do is cellophane on the windows.
There you go.
You could put little pieces of cellophane, put them on the windows, and then just have the little tiny fairy lights. I think it's what they call them. You could tape that around the back and then turn them on a battery-powered fairy light. Oh, see what happens when you start creating and you start getting your creative juices going, you start thinking of all kinds of stuff. So great idea, Chase. Now I'm going to have to try that because I think that's actually a really cool idea.
I mean, you could really do whatever you want. Why don't you send in some of your ideas for this? You've seen kind of what the kit's all about, the different pieces in this laser etched wood. What do you think? What would you do if you got yourself a kit?
Yeah, what kind of cool things would you create?
Or I mean, when you get yourself a kit.
Yep, when you get your kit. And now see, for the house itself, I paint it all black. Doesn't matter. You can paint everything black because I can go right over the trim with the purple. You don't actually have to do purple. You can do a different color. You can do gray. You can do anything you want. You can turn the castle actually into gray and purple, or the haunted house. Excuse me. So it's kind of like, just kind of figuring out what you like and how you want to do it. Now see how fast I'm doing it with the paintbrush?
You are being lickety-split here.
It doesn't take a lot, but
so when you're covering something with black, so you didn't cover the owl and you didn't cover the ghost.
No.
But it's okay to cover it here because you're covering with purple. Is that because purple is a darker color?
Well, yes, but the purple is a metallic that we're going to use. Okay. So the purple is going to stand out as a dark purple wouldn't, but the lighter purple, it's kind of a lilac metallic. I'll show you in a second. So it'll just go over the top, but then again, you guys know I love to use nail polish in my crafting, and so I have sparkle nail polish that will go over top of the purple. So you'll be impressed at how it looks.
So that was a question I wrote down here is, When are we going to add sparkles?
Oh my gosh.
So.
The sparkles are at the end, but you're going to
Okay.
love how easy the sparkles are. It really is an easy, I tell you, you get these little bottles of nail polish that are $1. You know, I can get them in places for $1. And they have the cutest glitter on them, and it matches most of the holidays, and it has a brush already in it, so you don't have to ruin a brush. And it's got a sealant, so.
So that's one of my big things about sparkles. I think, you know, I'm fine if people want to use them. I'm fine if you like sparkles, but I feel like once sparkles go on something, they get everywhere.
This
So
doesn't.
Okay.
This is why I really, really like even the sparkles in the bottle that's got the glue with it. I like those because the loose sparkles, to me, this would be a loose sparkle. I mean, that gets everywhere. That's powdery, that flies, and it's not actually good for you to breathe. But when you get something like a sparkle that's in a glue, or you get nail polish sparkle,
Okay.
doesn't go anywhere, stays on, it's pretty permanent, so you're actually not gonna lose your sparkles.
Good to know.
And
good to know.
why do a craft and then have all your sparkles blow away?
That's true.
Doesn't make any sense.
I think a lot of the stuff that I've seen kind of at the stores or stuff that's kind of mass produced, you buy them, they're full of sparkles, you put them on your door, and then the first time the door is shut tight, all the sparkles just fall to the floor. And
Or
they
if the
fall
wind
off.
blows,
Yeah.
the wind blows, and then all of a sudden you've got sparkles on your porch.
So it's good to know these little tips and tricks on keeping your stuff
yes.
the same as when you made it.
Yep. And nail polish, I have to tell you, I mean, well, you know, ladies, when you put glitter nail polish on your nails, it stays. So that's what you want for your crafts. So look how fast that was while we just sat and chatted. So this would be a good project to do if you're binge watching something, or you're watching like White Christmas, or, you know, something that I watch all the time that I can do crafts too. And it's just a lot of fun. And I do paint the bottoms. So again, you're gonna wanna paint these bottoms, but don't put them into your base until everything is dried, because it will glue right into your base, it'll stick. And then if you try and pull it out, it can either break the wood or it will take the paint off. So just try and be really careful when you do the bottom. Do it first, or you know, just make sure that it's dry before you put it in the base.
So you're looking at us here having fun, we're painting, we're creating, but you might ask yourself, where can I get my own haunted house for Halloween? And now is the time to get it, because you want to make these before Halloween hits, so you have something to show all your friends and your neighbors and your family. So you can get yours at mondomarkettv.com. Right now we have a special promo price where you can get yours for a little bit cheaper than you regularly do. So here we have our demo piece right here. It is something that Shaylin created before she came, and it looks gorgeous. It's got the sparkles on it. It's got the pumpkins on there, and I really like these guys because you have the 3 different pumpkins that you kind of see at Halloween. You have your scary pumpkin, your nice pumpkin, and the kind of the in between.
The freaky pumpkin.
Yeah. So
the little freaky one.
So get yours at mondomarkettv.com.
And too, really easy to put together. I really like the fun crafts that I can put together and just have fun at it and not have to worry about, you know, a lot of details. There are other things I like to do with a lot of details, but I also like things to be quick and easy, but still have that really good professional look to it, because we are artists and we are crafters, and that's what we do, is we create art. Every time we pick up a paintbrush, a marker, a pair of scissors, cut some fabric, whatever you do, you're an artist. So remember that. Take pride in it.
I think these kits definitely take a lot of the hard work necessarily out of it, and it lets you stay with the fun work.
Right.
So instead of having to design this whole haunted house, you just have it there, and you just get the instant gratification of being able to paint it and making it yours.
Oh, yes.
You know, there's a lot of projects that have started, and I'm like, this is going to be so great. I can't wait till I get to all these fun parts. And then there's that giant wall of just,
Yep.
of like the pre-work, the stuff
I'm
that
just
you
going
have
to
to do
put this
before.
away for a little while. That's what I
Yeah.
tell myself. I'm just going to put this away for a little while. Oh, yeah. Like 2 or 3 years later, it's like, oh, yeah, that one's done.
I definitely have a box of started projects that aren't finished.
Yep.
But this would just be, you know, you do it, you finish it.
And it's
in-
done.
In 2 hours, you think?
Oh, I think
And
an
get it-
hour.
Okay.
I think if you just sit down and just paint, it would probably take you an hour, maybe an hour and a half. If you're really slow like me, sometimes it could take 3 hours because you're just enjoying yourself and, you know, you lose track of time in your craft room.
Right. However long
know.
it takes. It's
Yeah.
this is really the enjoyable part.
Yes. Well, and it's, you know, back in the day, and I don't want to date myself, but, you know, 30 years ago, you couldn't find stuff like this. This wasn't available. And so if you wanted a haunted house, you actually had to draw it, put it on a piece of paper, put it on a canvas or something, and then you didn't have the 3D detail. You just didn't have it. So it's really nice to see that there are all these cool crafts now that they just take a little router and they just, and you're done.
This reminds me a lot of my neighbor. So it's growing up, my back door neighbor, the man who lived there was my scoutmaster, and his wife just loved doing crafts like
Crafting.
this. So she'd open up a drawer and it's just all those acrylic paints, you know, different colors.
Yep.
And she would make stuff for the neighborhood. And when we had neighborhood activities, every time you'd pull into the street,
Yeah.
there was this little girl that she had created that held a sign that announced like what was going on that week.
That's really
So you'd
cool.
drive in and you'd be like, oh, there's the barbecue's going on this week. You know, so she was able to make
Use her
something for
craft.
the whole neighborhood. you know,
Right.
so it was a lot of fun.
Sounds like you had cool neighbors. You know, cool crafting neighbors.
Yeah.
That's really cool. You know, and look at the memory you have from just what she did.
Right.
I mean,
and
that's
you know,
cool.
I'll remember that for the rest of my life. And when I see something like that, it always reminds me of
It's a
Annie.
trigger.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trigger. Oh yeah, I remember this. And that's what I really, really, really love about crafting is, I pulled out a craft the other day to show my husband, and I said, I painted this 20 years ago. And he's like, oh my gosh, that's really good. And I'm thinking, I remember where I was at. I remember who was painting with me. I remember what my kids were doing. I was teaching a class, and I just think it's cool. Crafting is cool. And it seems to be getting more popular all the time, which is really nice.
Well, I can see why. You know, you have all this stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
you're able to really make what
Oh.
speaks to you, and
There's the
they're
key.
unique. You know.
What speaks to you? What craft speaks to you that you want to create and reproduce? That's a really good part of that. So see, I just painted those little pumpkins orange. And I didn't do their top part because we're gonna paint that green. But the sides, you probably wanna do a couple of coats. I'm gonna just do one for now. But easy, fun, easy. Look how dirty I get, and it's all cool. It's all good. And now these are pretty much dry. We still have a little bit on the back.
So you just stuck those on a piece of wax paper.
Actually, it's parchment
Oh,
paper.
parchment paper.
Go to your local grocery store and just buy a roll of parchment paper. It's awesome.
And
It's-
that makes it so it doesn't stick
yes.
and allows it to dry at the same
And it
time.
allows it to dry. And parchment paper is really good, like if you're trying to float something or mix mediums. I really like parchment, so I use it quite a bit. But here's my little ghost, or my little pumpkin on the top of the fence. So add those little details in, make sure you don't miss them. And then there's just a little part down here. So I've kind of added it in. If you go over, sometimes if you lick your finger and you go like this, you can actually pull the paint right off. So, little trick. And there you go. So there's your little pumpkin. Let's do this one. So when you paint these, what's really interesting, because you're painting quickly, they will puddle a little bit on the backs. Just push them on your parchment and just get rid of those little drops, and they should disappear. And I had a woman ask me, last week what I'm painting on. And these are actually tiles for a floor. So they clean up really good. If you pour paint on them or you spill something on them, they have a good cleanup, and they just work really well. And I really like them because if you have a countertop that you're painting on, but you don't want to get it ruined, get you some tiles. And
you just get a 12-inch by 12-inch tile, paint on that.
Paint
and
on
then
that.
can be your crafting tile.
Yep.
Okay.
And then that way you're not trying, you don't accidentally ruin your countertop or your, quartz or your granite or something like that if you're painting in your kitchen. Or if you're like me and I paint kind of everywhere, then I get it all over. So look, there we go. We've got the pumpkins, we have the fence and the little pumpkins. So let's do the top with green. And like I say, I'm just using these little flats. There's a 6 and an 8, and then the bigger ones, I think, that one doesn't say what it is, but I think those are a 3/4 inch. So just easy, basic paintbrushes. So don't go buy anything fancy. And then we're just gonna put the green on here. These remind me of those pumpkins that you see at the Haunted Mansion house that come after you. And the ones that want to eat you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they remind me of. So
I don't know, the middle one kind of looks pretty happy.
Yeah, he's pretty good, but the
ones
other
on the sides,
they're deranged. they're the wicked ones, I guess. The middle one keeps them in tow. But I mean, look how fast that is. It's a really great kit.
Just 2 colors and you're done. But you can add as much as you want.
Yes, you can add as much detail as you want. You actually could take these pumpkins and you could shade them and give them a little depth and dimension.
Well, what I really like, here, let me show them. So you covered over on this side, you just covered it over with the orange paint, but it still has that little etch in there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's a little etch right here, but it shows it over here too. So you can just paint over that, but it has the detail in there. You don't have to draw that yourself.
Yep. And you could actually take these pumpkins and you could do like black, white, and orange pumpkins. That's kind of a fad now where you do the checkered pumpkins. And so, I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can do. I just say go for it. Do something you want to do. Make it fun. So we're going to put the grass on, and this is really just simple. So just paint your grass, and then when you're going up here, just kind of give it a little swish. Doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to cover that with glitter, so people aren't really going to see a lot of that. But I mean, how fun. And then when you start getting the glitter on this and you've got the glow-in-dark paint and then you do those little lights behind it, if you had cellophane in it, that would be the coolest centerpiece on somebody's like foyer table or a kitchen table or a countertop. I don't know, I just think it'd be so cool. I think the little lights and the little scene in the background is a really great idea too.
I think it'd be a lot of fun too, yeah.
Because you could add in like a little graveyard scene, or you could do the big, the purple moon. There's a picture out that has a purple moon for Halloween. It has graves in the back. If you put that on the back of this, that would be awesome. And it's a free print off of off the internet, so that would be fun. And then when people come to your house and they say, who did that? And you're like, me, I did it. I'm very crafty and creative. And again, you don't have to do the top pieces of the grass if you don't want to. You don't have to do the insides. It does take a couple coats of paint because where the blade was, it kind of burns it, so it gives it a darker color. So you just have to kind of be patient and just kind of paint away. There we go. And then once you get that sparkle on here, oh my goodness, we're gonna have some fun with that. I know sparkles are your favorite thing. Nash would say the same thing. She'd be like, okay.
I mean, I'll agree that they're fun for a lot of things, but I just do not like them when you
have to clean them up.
Yeah,
they're no fun.
You think you got them all cleaned up, and the next day they've molded. multiply.
They multiply, or they multiply in your hair. Somewhere you've got them all over the place and you're like, where did that come from? So now we have got, we just need to do the owl and the ghost. And then after that, I can show you how to do the glow-in-the-dark paint first. Oh, we'll do the trim. We've got to do the trim. So, but look how, I mean, this is going to be easy to do. So there's one side. I do like to paint both sides, but again, if you don't want to, don't do it. Just paint it black.
Well, you could paint the owl 2 different colors, one on one side, one on the other, and then however you're feeling that day, you know, flip it around.
You could do the pumpkins the same way too on the fence. Well, actually, you could do it all.
Right.
So you could do a morning day look, and then you could have an evil night look.
You could have one grandkid do one side, and then the other do the other side, but that would create some problems.
No,
probably.
you would put it on a Lazy Susan, and then you could just turn it around, and then there's no favorites. There's no favorites. As my kids have found out over the years, they like to ask me who their favorite daughter is or son. And I say, well, my favorite oldest daughter, my favorite oldest son, and my favorite youngest daughter.
Oh, there you go.
They'll never get away from that. They're all my favorites, so I can't really, I can't really pick just one. And now I have 4 favorite grandsons, so.
Well, perfect.
Man, life's good.
And you guys are our favorite for joining us here at MondoMarketTV.com. And if you want to pick up your own set, your own haunted house set, it's a 5-piece set. It's laser cut, and it's just ready to be painted. You can pick up yours at MondoMarketTV.com with our promotional price right now. Grab yours, and you can paint it any way you want.
Yep.
And with both sides, you can paint. Basically, you get 2 for the price of 1 at this point.
That's really cool. I didn't even think about that.
So,
see, that's the cool thing about when you brainstorm about crafts and then you realize the benefit of what you've just found. Now I'm going to have to paint 2 different houses on one craft. So that's really cool.
I think one of my big problems is I'd sit here looking at this because I'd want to do it like perfect the first time, right? And then I would spend probably an hour brainstorming, and then at that point I'll be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And then it never gets done.
So, you know, there's a really good rule of thumb I learned a long time ago. I worked for a woman who did weddings, and she was kind of ornery, but I loved her. She's just really talented, and she used to turn to me and she'd say, Shalyn, if you have to think about it, you're not going to ever get it done. And I'd be like, okay, all right. So I quit thinking about it. And now I just kind of dive into things. But it took me a long time because I was like you. I mean, I wanted to, I would do everything exactly how instructions told me. And over the years, I'm like, no, I'm going to do it how I want to do it. So, because that's our individuality. That's who we are. So we want to create things that are us. So here's the house. This is the main thing for this. And I have this metallic, this is from Folk Art, and it's called Color Shift. So if you have this available in your area or online, I love this purple. And I don't know if you can see that very well, but it is a metallic-y, beautiful color that has a little bit of opalescence in it, and it's awesome. So I am just going to paint the rooftops. So you can see this actually shows, if it was a dark purple, it wouldn't, but it just has that little bit of a kick to it. So kind of a metallic-y roof feel. Kind of like, you know, when you're in Transylvania, I guess. And this is just the purple. I want to make sure I do this right. So I'm going to go up this side. And we do have a giveaway.
Oh, we do. Thank you for reminding me.
We do have a giveaway.
So if you are sharing this with your friends, if you're commenting, we have these 2 bats that we would love to ship out to you. These are a ton of fun. I'll put them on the close-up here.
They're really cute.
These are also, looks like they're laser cut, and they have all these spirals, and you can really...
Ready to paint.
You could paint these black or the purple, or there's 2 of them, so really, with both sides, you're really getting 4 bats here, right?
Yeah.
So all you need to do is to comment, share, like our video. this would be a ton of fun to go along with your house.
Yeah, with your kit. So you have
Perfect.
a kit.
You have your kit, your bats.
You have bats.
And
Life's
you're ready
good.
to go.
Life is good. So again, really easy. I'm just putting this metallic purple. It's almost kind of like a lilac, a darker lilac. But if you look in the picture that you'll get with the instructions, it'll just show you the different things that I did, and then you can turn around and kind of take that and run with it. So I just did the tops, and I'm gonna do the sides. And that just gives it that finished look. But I mean, you can do any color you want. You know what would be really cool on here is copper too. So kind of a copper look. Or you could just do a light gray. So whatever floats your boat, do it, because you can. That's the joy of having crafts to do at your home, and you can do whatever you want.
So Willia Williams says, I would love those bats shared on Facebook.
Oh, Wilma,
Perfect.
we love you.
Thanks for joining us. I think we got Bree and Inez in the chat as well.
Bree, hey.
So they've joined us. They've been talking about their Mondo Market addiction. So
It's the best addiction, I promise.
I was talking to them earlier today while we were doing the live replay. So it was a lot of fun to talk with them.
They're awesome. They're great. We have great fans. We really do. We have great fans.
It's a lot of fun. You learn a
is.
lot of new stuff from them. They're really smart. You know, the one thing
Really smart.
goes on, and they'll talk about it forever. And then you get this deep knowledge of what's going on.
Right,
So,
and they can brainstorm with you. I love how people just sit and brainstorm, and that's why I say we have the best fans, because some of the ideas that they come up with, it's like, oh man, I never would have thought of that. So really, it's just a bonus for us to have you guys join us, because you guys make our day. So there you go. I just put in the little bit onto the roof. Now,
so I know you painted this with the purple.
with the
but
purple.
From my angle right now, it kind of looks gold. So
It does.
Does it change?
When
or?
it dries, but the sparkles change it.
Okay.
So this is just kind of the base that I put on. There is a blue that Folk Art makes that's really good. It would be pretty on here, but you know, again, it depends on your colors, if you like the colors or not. So now what I want to do is I'm going to show you this glow-in-the-dark paint. Love this stuff. So you do need to put it in the sun for a little while. Just make sure that you have it towards the sun. See, oh, I've messed it up. So here's something I've messed up, and I want to show you what can happen. See, I put my little paper down, and it made my little Halloween pumpkin get a little bit spotty. But we can fix that with sparkles. So anything can be fixed with sparkles. So with the glow-in-the-dark paint, all I do is just take a foam brush, just a simple foam brush, and I will put it into a little paint thing here.
So is it better to just coat everything with the glow-in-the-dark, or
I do.
just highlight certain features?
I do, because I like that look. You
Okay.
can do certain features, and that's a good point to make, because you can do it and just do certain things. But I really like to go out and actually see my crafts in the middle of the night when I've decorated, and it freaks me out a little bit. It does, because I'm not planning on it. But I just like that look, and just a little addition. So this is all I do with the glow in the dark. And you might, because this isn't completely dry, we might end up getting some into the paint, but it's okay. So I'm just gonna glide over it, do the front and the back. And then, you know, what's really cool is then when you see your craft all done and it's all lit up, it's kind of a proud moment, because you're like, I did that, and you like it. So see, I mean, I'm not worried about getting into the crevices. I'm just kind of putting it on the front and the perimeter. You can do it on both sides if you want, but I'm just gonna, for time's sake here, we're just gonna do this.
So Wilma was agreeing with me. She said the paint looks gold or silvery, not
Yep.
purple.
Yep.
And we'll take care of that. And then
You'll see.
Guest 107 said, I'm still my mom's favorite daughter. So.
Yes, you are. That's awesome. I have really good kids. I really like them. They're kind of crazy like me, so it's a good mix. And you know what's really cool is I love how my kids have gotten older and they love to craft. That is, to me, is the ultimate, because it's kind of like validating after all those years of crafting and doing boutiques and booths, and then all of a sudden they're doing the same thing, and it's like, yay! So keeping the tradition alive. So see how fast that is?
So you just covered
That's
the
done.
whole thing. It's ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you can, so it's really clear. So
Yes.
everything you did is still there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it won't mess up any of your paints if they're dry. So make sure they're dry.
So will this all glow the same color, or are you going to be able to see the black and the purple separate?
It'll do, because we're going to put sparkles on it, it's actually going to glow more of just the yellow.
Okay.
It'll just have that black and yellow look. You won't really see too much, but the glitter does stand out. So,
Okay.
So that is pretty cool. So let's just do our tree real quick. And get messy, man. Totally get messy. It's worth it. So there you go. Okay, now for the glitter. So this will take a couple minutes to dry. So we're going to start with our base. You can glitter the bottom of your base, and I'm going to show you how to do that with glitter glue. So this is a glitter glue that is from, doesn't say actually, I got this at Joann's. So this is just a really good glitter glue, but your, pull this out. I'm going to put this in so you can see it. So your glitter glue can ruin your brushes, so make sure when you use a brush like this one's kind of used, that you don't ruin a really good brush that you're going to paint details with.
All right, so before we start getting this glitter on, which I'm sure everyone wants to see, we need to talk about the where you can get this set and what special promos are with it. So right now we have the promotional price, so you can get this for cheaper than you normally can while we're live, and you can get yours at mondomarkettv.com. As you can see, we have our demo piece right here that Shaylin has got prepared for us. It has the sparkles already on it. It's got the ghosts painted, the pumpkins painted. It's got all the trimmings painted purple, ready to go. And you can see that purple stand out now on that black with those sparkles on it. It looks like you have the orange sparkle, so you kind of have that Halloween.
I have both.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I have purple and I have orange.
All right.
So,
Well, so you can get your set at mondomarkettv.com.
and it'll be fun, and I'd love to see your projects when they are done. That would be cool. So on my little pumpkin here, I'm just gonna put a little bit of the orange right there, the orange sparkle. And then if you want, you can just kind of brush it in here and there. If you don't want a ton of sparkle on like your fence. So you can just add just a little bit. But I did do more, and I want to do as much as I can on the pumpkins because I think those are really cute and the orange adds it. And then make sure your pumpkins match each other so they're facing each other. So we're just going to put that right there. I love glitter glue too. I usually paint it on. I don't usually just glue it on. I usually have a brush or something that I will paint it on, just because I want to control where the glitter is going. So now the tree here, I'm just going to paint. I'm going to paint the whole tree. And then when we get to the purple, you guys, I know you're probably going to laugh and go, oh my gosh, Shailen's got her nail polish out again. But I really like it. And it's basically like glue, except it dries hard. And so I usually put that, if I use the nail polish, I will put it over whatever I'm using, just so it's just kind of seals it.
So you could buy a tube of purple glitter, or you could just
Get glitter glue.
go get some nail polish, paint your nails,
Yeah.
and add
That's
stuff.
what I did. So it's really cool.
So you're actually saving money.
You
right?
are.
Okay.
Well, really, when I went and picked out some of this nail polish that I'm using, there was like 12 different glitter polishes to choose from, and they are themed for holidays. So there were so many Christmas ones. I thought, oh my gosh.
So why not? Why
Why
get
not?
them, you know?
Spend $10 to get 10 bottles, and it'll do a ton of crafts.
Because you buy some holiday nail polish and you use it for the month.
Twice.
Right.
Yeah.
But then now you actually have something to use it on.
In your crafting boxes.
perfect.
Yeah. Waste not, want not. Just do it. So check that out. There's your mean, obnoxious pumpkins.
Here, I'll show them on the
Yeah.
close-up over here.
They're really cool.
All right.
And you can do like,
So here's the before, and
Yep.
then here's the after.
so cute.
See the sparkles on there. Perfect.
Sparkles add. Sparkles just add. I love the fact that sparkles change everything. If it's appropriate, there can be a time where it's just less is more. So you just kind of base over the top of this, and we're just going to do it all. The glue will dry, this glitter glue will dry if you leave it out. It would dry flat like this, so just make sure that if you don't use some of it, you can put it right back in the bottle. It'll be awesome.
And like you said before, you want to make sure this is all dry before you fit it together.
Yes.
Or it
Yes.
could be glued together, and that's not
It'll
what we want.
stick. Yeah, and actually this wood will shred. If you pull it and it's glued tight, it'll shred. And then you'll be like, oh my gosh, what did I do? So we don't want to see that. We want to see you actually be able to take it apart. So got the orange on. So do you want to show that?
Yes, let's show
So
it.
can you see, you can see kind of the purple now.
Yes, I can. It's starting to come out.
It comes out a little bit. It's really strange, but that metallic-y paint is just kind of funky. I really like it though. I really do like the.
So here's your before and after. You can see all the sparkles and that black finish.
It's pretty
right.
cool. I love kits like this because they're just so much fun, but man, you can just choose whatever you want to do with it. Okay, here's my nail polish. So now we are going to, see in that glue, it doesn't dry super fast, but it will dry pretty quick. So we're gonna put some on our fence here. Simple nail polish. And I'm just gonna add a little bit here. So I'm just gonna, I'll probably put a little bit on my pumpkin this time. But look at the difference. Look at just the coloring of that.
Yeah, that's a lot more richer than just the orange glue.
Just the
it
orange.
adds a lot more of the actual color in there.
Right, but you need the orange for the accent, so.
Right.
Or you need something that can accent the purple.
So you,
what I mean.
you probably wouldn't, would you put two different nail polish colors together?
You can.
Or would it be better to do the nail polish and then the glitter glue? Does that
I
look
would,
better
if you're
together?
using glitter glue, do that first.
Okay.
Do that first because sometimes the glue part can mess up the purple unless it's dried. But this seems to have a sealant in it that's so much better. So this is how I do it. If you find a different way, I'd love to hear your ideas. But I mean, it just changes. That purple, whatever it is, growing up, I never saw a lot of purple in Halloween stuff. And now you see it everywhere, and I really like it because, you know, purple is also a royalty color. So even though it's Halloween, it's still kind of a cool concept. So now show that.
All right.
So that's pretty cool. I'm not going to do it on my pumpkins, though.
So you can see there you go, you can see that shine
That
from
shine.
the purple, yeah.
It's really cool. And who'd have thought it's nail polish of all things? So on the tree, again, I'm just going to add the nail polish.
All right, I'm going to take some attention away from you again and talk
Okay.
about the giveaway. So we're giving away these two wonderful bats. I don't know, I think these look a lot of fun with the wings. I'll put them on the close-up here. You can see all those swirls in the wings. They're just ready to go, ready to paint. They even have the twine on here, so they're ready to hang. They're really, everything is just ready to go. And to be entered to win in this, just tell us that you've commented, that you've liked our video, that you've shared with other people, and these could be yours. So
yeah, and then you can match them to your kit, which is really kind of cool. So there we go. We're going to put a little purple on the front here. I just love how it changes things. So, you know, for Christmas and Halloween, I think sparkles are pretty appropriate because it's everywhere. It's like twinkles, you know, little twinkle lights. Okay, so that one's done. So now we're going to do the house.
all right.
So now you're going to see the purple come out. So we're going to just make sure we have enough polish on our brush. And then check this out. There you go. So now you can see the purple with the metallic purple, and then you've got the purple glitter and the orange glitter. It just works. And I'm just gonna line the roof part. You can put it other places. You can put it around the windowsills if you want. Like I say, it's up to you. Take the basics and run with it and just enjoy the process. I love the fact that we're creative artists, but we don't have a label of a certain craft. We can just do whatever.
I think it's super important to be able to do two different things that you really love. You know, when I was going to school, they would say, all right, like, let's figure out like what's the best job you would be, you know. They're like, are you left-brained or right-brained? But I think, you know, being both left and right-brained is very important. Being able to have that outlet on both sides, so you can really just enjoy this, you know, exercise your right brain.
Right.
But then if you have something else that you love to do with your left brain,
do it,
you know.
Do it.
So, you know, you're really just expanding your talents and and being able to just become better all around.
You know, when I was going to school, sometimes people would talk about, well, the best thing you could be is, you know, just be a housewife or something, which I have nothing against because that's one of my best jobs. But when I took home ec, I wanted to be in wood shop where my dad taught, or I wanted to be in art, and I actually flunked home ec. I mean, talk about an easy class to flunk. I flunked it because I just didn't want to be there. I just wanted to be creating, and it was so structured that it was just like, oh my gosh, I just want to be using my hands to make things really pretty. And now I cater, and so I can make food into art. So it's really kind of cool. But yeah, back in the day, there kind of was not a lot of options. There were some, but not like today. So there you go. There's the house.
Let's look at this.
So isn't that cool?
The purple definitely.
Just added nail polish.
Look at that.
I love it.
All right, do you think this is dry enough to put in the base?
I think we can start putting it in.
All right, so let's set that down there.
So you stick it where you want it, where you think it would work.
All right.
You have to push it just a little bit. There you go.
Pops right in.
So you got a fence. And another one. And then you got your little pumpkins.
Oh, I think I did this in the wrong order.
You could do it in any order you want. You're designing this.
All right,
so you're
perfect.
doing great.
Okay, so I've got the pumpkins and the little ghost kind of hiding behind there, or you could have them peeking around the corner.
So didn't do the back with glitter, so.
Oh, okay, we'll do them on this side.
But that's easy. Such a great craft.
Yeah, this is
dimensional.
Fun.
Yeah, this one's a lot of fun for me because now I'm going to go home and take that demo and I'm going to make the back totally different.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I'm going to make everything totally different on the back so I can kind of switch them back and forth. I think that's a really good idea. So
I mean, and then you have, you know, you just turn it around and you have the other stuff going on.
And if you have, like he said, one child paint one side and one child paint the other side, and just keep it rotating, and you'll at least see something that each one of them have done.
Well, you can put the house in the middle, and then you got your your front yard and then your backyard, right?
There,
so you have your tree in the back.
There you go. And if you have 2 kids, then you could just make a palace.
Perfect.
You could put 2 back to back and make a palace. So yeah, so that is our kit for today, and I love doing this. You're a great host. Thank you.
Thanks. I was a little nervous, but I think it went
good.
pretty well. So.
He's good. Yep,
All right, so you can get your own kit at mondomarkettv.com. If you get it now, we have our promo price, which is when you want to buy, because now's
the time.
It's time to get ready for
Now's the time.
Halloween.
Yep.
Fall's coming, which I love, because that means it's sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
And I have quite the collection.
There you go.
So we're glad that you joined us here on Mondo Market TV, Crafting with Shaylin, and we'll see you.
Who's the winner?
Oh, the
Who's
winner.
the winner?
I'm so glad you're here,
Yes.
because I would be lost. All right, so let me see who they sent me. All right, so the winner is Wilma Williams. Wilma,
Yay,
congratulations.
Wilma.
So you are the lucky winner of these 2 bats. So we will send these to you in the mail. It does take a couple days for us to get going with that, but we will send them to you, so don't worry.
Have them send their email.
Oh yeah, send
or their
your
address.
email to us. And
your address, and then we'll ship them out to you.
Sounds great. So congratulations, Wilma. And so thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time.
Thank you all.